Welcome everyone to our call. It is Testimonial Tuesday. First, I have to read the medical disclaimer. So the information provided is for educational purposes. It is not intended as medical advice or a substitute for medical advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare professional. We do not aim to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any illness or disease. And you should always consult with a doctor or other healthcare professional for medical advice or information about diagnosis and treatment. And the information in this presentation has not been evaluated by the FDA or any other medical body. Not only do I have to give the medical disclaimer, but now we have to give a testimonial disclaimer. So, because it's Testimonial Tuesday, and the testimonials given reflect real life experiences and opinions of users. However, the experiences are personal to those particular users and may not necessarily be representative of all the users of our products. So we do not claim, and you should not assume that all users will have the same experiences, and your individual results may vary. So the views and the opinions contained in the testimonials belong solely to the individual users and do not reflect Root Brand's views or opinions. And the users are not paid or otherwise compensated for their testimonials. And again, the testimonials are not intended, nor should they be construed as claims that our products can be used to diagnose, treat, mitigate, cure, prevent, or otherwise be used for any disease or medical condition. And no testimonial has been clinically proven or evaluated. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Dr. Dori Narbo, and I am your host on today's call. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm a clinical researcher and an author of several books. So welcome to our Testimonial Tuesday call with Clayton Thomas, founder of Root. And Clayton has over 25 years of experience in the health and wellness industry. And for the past 16 years, he's been focused on detoxification and supplementation formulations with a simple philosophy, cure the cause. Hello, Clayton, and welcome to our call.
Happy Tuesday. I don't sound as good today because we had a long Easter weekend and I'm full of sinus infection stuff. So it's clean out Tuesday.
Oh, wow. So you've been drinking bottles of Clean Slate.
Clean Slate and some new sachets of tasty goodness and a little Pure. So tomorrow's an anniversary. And so let me put this. How do we put this right? So a year ago tomorrow, one of Dory's close friends had a conversation with a friend of hers about trying some products, which has led to some really interesting circumstances, which is going to lead to our second conversation. And you guys have seen this guy many times before, and it's solely due to his own experience, but also the simplicity of just taking an interest and having a servant's heart to want to provide benefits to others. And that's really, we have our trainings and trying to teach people how to develop an organization. And this is what you're going to get probably over the next 30 to 45 minutes is going to show you exactly what you need to do, which is just share. Imagine this 30 days ago, if Yvonne's friend just chose not to talk to her and say, hey, I found something that might help you or you might like it. Where would she be had she not done what she's been doing for less than 30 days? But Sandy, you're on for you.
Right? Yeah, I'm here, bro. Yep.
Talk to me, brother. So it's an anniversary tomorrow. We were having some interesting chats this morning. So let's backtrack a little over a year. What happened to you, or what happened with your mom?
Yeah, sure.
And
okay.
extrapolate a little bit, and then we'll pull the other one on.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so Mum had a very serious stroke in June 2016, and she was hospitalized for 6 weeks, and luckily she made a full recovery. It was quite miraculous, actually. But I wanted to minimize the chances of that happening again. And I knew that Western medicine pharma wouldn't, get her back to full wellness. So I went down the holistic route. I took her here, there, and everywhere, naturopaths, natural doctors, etc., etc. Spent thousands and thousands. And, there was some improvement, but not much at all. 2019, she got breast cancer, very early stage. It was, again, tried to treat it holistically. That didn't work. The NHS took it out successfully. She got a bad reaction to the general anesthetic because it was her first time that she'd had surgery, but she recovered from that. But in January last year, she died very suddenly and unexpectedly from a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot to the lung. It was, obviously it was complete shock because we thought she was getting back to wellness. I used to take Mum to see my dear friend Claire Harvey for sessions. Claire is an amazing flower remedies practitioner, and Mum used to love going to see her. And in February last year, I went to see Claire to deal with my grief. And hey, Christina.
Hi.
Hey. And at the end of the session, she said to me, there's a new zeolite product coming out. And I said, Claire, I'm not in the space. Just send me the details. And she started inviting me onto Dr. Dory's calls with some guy called Clayton. And this guy was talking about stuff that I'd never heard before. Like, in order to add to your health, you need to subtract. I was talking about toxins, heavy metals, and everything. And I got quite angry. I was like, why the hell have I not heard of this stuff before? I took Mum to see all these naturopaths, natural doctors, nutritionists, healers. Not one of them talked to me or told us about toxicity. So I kept asking questions. Do you remember, Clayton? I kept asking questions. Does it help with diabetes? Does it help with cancer? Does it help with cardiovascular? And basically the answer is yes. So I took the plunge. I ordered some product, just clean slate to start off with. And I received delivery on the 7th of April. And the 7th of April last year, and that is when my life changed for the better. And I took clean slate, and I noticed, I'm lucky I don't have any health issues to treat, but I noticed within a few days, better energy, mental energy, physical energy, brain fog gone, very lucid dreams. And then I asked, finally, because I'm quite a shy guy, I finally had the courage to ask Clayton some questions on and call in May. And I said, I'm getting very lucid dreams. He said, well, your pineal gland's been decalcified. I had tried so many things to decalcify my pineal gland. Well, this just in, this does it as a side effect. I was absolutely blown away. I started, because I love the calls so much, I learned so much from them. And, this guy Clayton, it can be likable sometimes. So I started inviting some friends onto it. they loved what they were hearing. They ordered some products. They started getting results, and the rest is history, bro. You know, and I think the key to this is that, well, two things. One, in April last year, I got down on my hands and knees. I said, God, I've had enough. I'll do it your way. What do you want me to do? He leads me to root. Secondly, I had a very emotional call with Claire this morning. And she told me something that I kind of knew bits about. And that was when I took Mum to see Claire the week before she died, and I sat in the car for 15 minutes just to avoid getting a parking fine. So I left them alone. Mum made Claire promise me, sorry, Mum made Claire promise that Claire would lead me to my purpose, because she knew I was very, you know, disenchanted with life. I was in a dead-end job. I was a security guard. And Mum made Claire promise, and Claire kept her promise. And this is all Claire's fault. I'm sorry.
So through that, you've talked to a few friends. You shared with a few people so far, and we're gonna pull her on here. Dory, can you unmute Paris and put her on video?
Thank you for
So-
sharing.
Thank you. This is your fault as well, Christina.
I don't know about that, but I really
Can
love
you raise
your
your hand? Oh, there she is.
Under P. So this is what happens when you talk to your friends. So these two have never met before. So Paris, Christina, Paris. So Paris, it's been, well, 90 days since we were first introduced, and you had a little experience this morning that we'll call it an awakening. But Christina has not heard or understood your journey, nor have the majority of the people here. So the floor is yours, and I can guarantee you Christina is going to have some questions for you.
Hi, gosh, feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Yeah, this morning was quite emotional for me because I just realized that throughout of all of the extremely painful experiences that I've been through that's got me through to today, I've just known throughout it that I've been really alone and desperate to find a product that's going to help not only just clear my body up, but clear up everybody else, because I work with people now for detoxification and health, and so I'm a little bit
Gonna need this.
so the main thing that's brought me to you guys today was that I had severe mercury poisoning from fillings. I had 10 fillings put in my mouth when I was 23. I'm now 47. And I instantly became sick. I was a professional singer and dancer before that, so I was extremely fit and healthy. And I became sick instantly. And then I fell pregnant with my son. And then all the way through the pregnancy, I felt amazing. I was absolutely glowing. I felt really well and healthy, although previously for the 2 months before, since the fillings, I felt very sick. And then soon after I gave birth, I became very ill again, and especially intolerant to wheat and dairy and lots of different things. Like I had just pain riddled everywhere. My gums were bleeding. My guts were just absolutely twisted up. And by the time my son was a few months old, I could barely walk. I was skin and bones. And I was recalling to Sandy this morning how I remember just being so weak and so in so much pain that I had to crawl across my mum's lawn to get to her front door to handle my baby. And And then doctors were called, and I had cameras up my rectum into my intestines, trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and nobody could figure it out. And then once I had some intolerancy tests done and everything, I really cut back on a lot of things that deal with inflammation. I managed to get my health well enough that I studied and became a personal trainer and was studying to be a physiotherapist. And then my son became very sick when he was 3, with lots of different symptoms that had been progressively coming along. And then when he was 3.5, he was diagnosed with cancer. And he had tumors riddled through his brain and his sinuses and his base of his spine, which had caused different kinds of neurological problems and convulsions and all sorts of things. And so I was a single mum, so it was very hard. And although I'd got my own health to a good level, we were in hospital for 6 months, and they told me at first that he wouldn't pull through and that he was paralyzed from the waist down because of the tumors. And they told me that he'd never walk again, but we got him walking. And, you know, and as a new mum, I was 25. He had vaccines as well, which I didn't realize were a problem. And we also lived under a few cell phone towers, which I now know were a problem. We had 4 years of chemotherapy, and my health declined because I was in hospitals, and I was intolerant to wheat and dairy, and, you know, it's really hard to eat properly there. And so we had 3.5 years of chemo, and then we got told that a different kind of cancer was there, and he couldn't. We tried to do a stem cell transplant for him, and we did a huge media appeal across the UK, and it was huge. I was on the front of all the newspapers, and it was just mind-blowing. But unfortunately, he didn't survive. So when he was 8, he passed away, and that was 15 years ago. And I've been on just a life of survival for many of those years, trying to get to that part of thrive. And I realized a few years after he passed, because my illness was way beyond grief, I also suffered a collapsed disc. I was paralyzed myself, was diagnosed with ME and MS and fibromyalgia and severe depression. I tried to commit suicide a few times. And then eventually I couldn't move out of my bed because I was in so much pain, and I had no energy at all. And I had a locked jaw and severe tinnitus and everything. And so I started to really research it, and everything kept coming back to mercury. And then I realized that all of my symptoms started when I had these 10 fillings put in my mouth all at once, 10 of them. And then I started to research, like, what did I pass on to my child? And this is what we do as mums. We give everything to them, good and bad. And so then I got angry. I got really angry that the dentistry knew what they were doing, because if I could find this out, then how the fuck couldn't they? You know, it's like, I am no scholar. I don't have any huge amount of scientific background, but I managed to find it out. And so I wrote loads of letters, and I went back to my dentist, and they just said to me, it's safe. So I started to cleanse, and I've spent the past 14 years researching how to cleanse heavy metals. And I've been following all the leaders in the field, and I managed to get myself back to health. I kind of think I'm a miracle. And now I work as a detox specialist and a health coach and an acupuncturist and a kinesiologist. Everything that I needed to save my own life and body, I've now help other people with. And I've been waiting for it's just been it's been a really lonely journey. And I've had family and friends think I'm completely nuts, just been labeled this like grieving mother who's making up stories of heavy metal poisoning and everything. And now, you know, it's taken me 3 months to turn around and say I believe in this product, because I've asked so many questions, because I'm so cynical, because I've had so many disappointments, so many over the years. And the people that, you know, I did want to, their products I wanted to use, and I want to put my clients onto, are outpriced. Like, I can't ask these people that who can't even, you know, work right now because they're so sick. I can't ask them to spend so much money on things. So I've been using Corella and charcoals and zeolites, which I stopped doing because of the aluminium and the powders and everything. And now, you know, Sandy, you know, introduced me to this a few months ago. And Christina, I've been watching all your videos. I've stalked you. I know you online, lady. And I know that, you know, we've both had our pain to purpose stories. And, you know, I'm really just, I don't know, just to round this up, like this morning, I was crying, speaking to Sandy, just really recognizing that I am not alone in this anymore. I am not alone trying to help clients anymore. You know, I've got a team to work with and products I can trust. Like for me, with what I've been through and losing my child, I have to trust something before I speak to anybody about it. My ethics, my moral compass, my integrity is so high because of what I've been through. You know, ahimsa, you know, I've lived in India all these years studying the scriptures. You know, ahimsa, do no harm, is where I start from every second, every breath. And listening to you speak on, you know, videos that you've spoken on before Root Brand started, Christina, I know you have the same ethic, and I needed to hear that from somebody. And that's a big reason why I'm here, because I could hear and feel it, because I'm an energy worker. I could feel it with you, Christina. And thank you. Thank you so much for your courage and for being so brave for all of your own painful journey. And I'm just so excited to move forward with this. And I don't even need to say thank you. You get it. So I'm ready to rock this with you all. Thank you.
Here's a question for you. It's been 3 months. You've had pretty cool experiences. How many drops are you using?
I'm now on 2, twice a day, so 4.
And this is day 1 of taking 2, right? Because you couldn't even start with 1.
Yeah. So when I first started, I think it's about 6 or maybe 8 weeks ago now, I couldn't even take 1 drop. I instantly had painful headaches and gut ache. So I knew that I had to pull it back, and Sandy's been amazing. Sandy, I love you. You're amazing. You're just so patient and cool. You're such a cool dude, you know, in every sense of the word. And, you know, thank God for you out there as well, with these 2 sitting here, you know. So I started on a microdose. So I put 1 drop into 500 milliliters of water and took a gulp in the morning and a gulp at night, and slowly built myself up to it. And got brave this morning, put 2 drops directly on my tongue and had no headache, no gut ache. And I'm taking 2 0 in a day now. When 1 spun me out, because I've had a brain injury as well, actually, which I haven't spoken about. Had a motorbike accident and severe brain injury, and was diagnosed with epilepsy and blah, blah, blah. And it got brought back last week because a bit too much working out around my neck and span me out. So I was feeling amazing and it knocked me back. So I was like, okay, I stopped all clients this week and I'm starting taking more of everything just to really hit into my own healing process, to really feel it. And the clarity that I have and the sleep, I'm sleeping I wake up in the morning, I'm like, wow, that was a sleep. So yeah,
That's amazing. I'm horrible at speaking in public because I cry a lot. I'm so sorry about you losing a child.
I just, you know, I
it's
wish this had been here 20 years ago, because maybe he would have lived.
But you know what? You get to take his legacy and share with so many people, and you can't ever lose that pain, but you can help so many people because of it. And it's, you know, I'm always honored and humbled by people and how kind they are. And believe me, and I'm sure you know this, I have been attacked many times because of who I am and what I believe in, and just my heart, actually. And I'm sure you have too. But I think overall, you know, we're on this journey together, and we meet people that can help so many, and share the honesty, because I'm like you, I don't understand things and treatments that we've all had to take that just hurt us and then can hurt our children. And I hope that we are all here on this journey together. You have my support, Paris. You are a very strong, amazing person to throw your life into, just helping people through your tragedy. And I know, dealing with the tumors in his body and him dying through transplant, I've actually done research in that area and worked with children with AHUS and different types of things like that, which was tragic. And so I hope that the products that we have now and that we continue to make together, because when I say that, it's not me, it's a community that's doing it. And we should all be humbled by the opportunity to serve and help others. And sometimes that means us fighting bad, and sometimes that just means us loving unconditionally. And so for me, I just want to say thank you for your heart and your energy and your love. I can see it in you. You're a beautiful person inside and out. And really say a lot of thanks to Sandy and to Dory and Clayton and all the people that have gotten you here so that we can work together. So, and when I say work together, it's work, because when you're trying to help people, it would be wonderful if you could just love everything away, but you have to work to get people to understand, you know, that you're trying to even help them. Sometimes you have to argue with people so you can even help, right? Because they don't want help. And so I just want to tell you thank you for sharing that, because I needed to hear that. And I just am very honored to be able to meet you and to hear all the things that you're doing. So thank you.
Oh, hold on. I got to dry my eyes. So I did this with Sandy earlier. Here in Nashville, we have a hockey team. They're pretty good. But much like in real football, they have a chant that's done when the Preds, our team, scores a goal. And they'll chant the other goalie's name. And they'll say, you know, they'll say his name and they'll say, "You suck. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault." So Sandy, Claire, Dory, this is all your fault. Now the question is, for everyone here, and here's the challenge, because there's about 21,000 plus people that have had this put in front of them so far that are customers or members. You hear responses like this. Who would you not want to talk to? This isn't about selling anything. You have a woman actually too that have been on journeys that I will tell you, from being with this one for a long time now, you don't want the journey that she's been on. You don't want the journey that Paris has been on. Most of us, we couldn't handle it. It would have broken us. And there's no guy, you won't hear a guy talk about this. There's no man that can actually handle this. But in that process, you don't know what your friends, what your people around you are enduring or what they have endured. And as I think we were hearing earlier, you really don't know what kind of benefits you can provide someone simply by taking an interest or sharing. And as Paris and I got to go over 3 months ago, she's like, prove it. I'm like, okay. But I told Sandy this earlier, because I remember mentioning something to you. Well, and I said it strategically because I knew we'd come to this point, that there would be a time here in the near future that you would have an awakening, because this stuff works different than anything you've ever had in your hands before. And thank you. We love you. We love all of you, but thank you. What else you got for that? This is your fault. You did this.
It's not mine, it's all of ours. So I've said this many times. With me, if I didn't have people around me, I could do nothing. And I know that. So thank you. I'm so sorry you've had to go through what you've been through, but I'm so thankful that you are having such good results that will help so many people. So that makes me happy.
Have you even finished a bottle yet?
No, it's going to take me months. It's such amazing value for money.
We need to change the price of the product. It's too cheap.
It really is, but don't change it. I mean, I just
No.
signed up another client today on it and went out to lunch with him, and he's so excited to get going with it, you know, and I can't wait to see what I can do with my clients and with my loved ones. I'm buying it to send to my brother because both his daughters are sick. They're under 5, both of them. They're sick because they did IVF, you know.
I'm sure you guys know this, but we used to think that heavy metals from like vaccines were 40% were passed on to the mother, but we know with like formaldehyde, because I'm sure you guys remember formaldehyde, the children were born without their arms and legs and cleft palates. We know now through the research that it's, basically 75% of mercury, formaldehyde, and aluminum. And the new vaccines, are made with aluminum. And so my hope is, and 40% are retained within the mother, which is where we got the statistics that 40% were passed on to the child. But now we know in newborns, it's actually a lot higher. And so I'm hoping that this product will be able to help people as they go through vaccines, because one of the things that's happened too is no one has looked at collectively, what do all these vaccines do to our children, not just one at a time, but all of them. And then what happens to the heavy metals in the body? Because we know as healthcare practitioners, we know as doctors what heavy metals do, but there's not a pharmaceutical company fighting people to say, we need to get rid of the heavy metals, or like paying for it, right? And so if we can just somehow approach this from a positive perspective, instead of basically fighting, but with love, that we're sharing, this will help your children, this will help you. And if someone says, well, what negative can happen? Well, it's cleaning you out, and you can do it as slow as you want, so there's not a negative. And a lot of your chelation therapies and a lot of your therapies that detox, they're so aggressive that they can actually hurt. And so I think that you guys educating and helping people understand that everybody's body's different, and this goes at a different, pace, will be significant. And I'm going to say one last fact: your people with cardiovascular issues and autoimmune issues, as you know, that aren't detoxing the right way. You have triple bypass surgeries, you have pulmonary embolisms, you have all these things that are happening because of all this stuff that's in their body. And so I'm so thankful that there's a community and a group of people that are actively working to really give clarity to the world in a positive way. And even when you share peace, love, and happiness, and this, Paris, even when you come to a place and all you're doing is sharing love, you will have bad, negative, darkness try to hurt you. So you have to be unified together. And I see Root as a place where we can unify to do something positive, so that hopefully other mothers don't go through what we've gone through.
Yeah, Christina, I want to take this opportunity to say, from me and everybody on this call, so I'm sure I'm going to be able to speak for everybody when I say that even to say thank you is not enough. I have listened to you share your story repeatedly on different videos, And I've seen some of the journey you've gone through with other products, and the fact that you've stayed resilient and you've stayed on point with your passion, with your dedication, with your courage, you know, has made it possible for me to be on this call right now, and for everybody else to be, you know, with Yvonne's story earlier, and so many more children that I know that, you know, you've had your own cancer experiences with this, because of what you've been doing. And now that Clayton is stepping up on the business side of things, it's going to be an incredible, life-changing, life-saving product. And you're phenomenal, and you're amazing, and thank you so much. And I know at times you're going to be exhausted and tired and want to give up. Take a break.
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Thank you.
I know. If you ever want to talk, I'm also here. But
Yeah, I just had a pep talk actually before this call from Ted Baker and Tiffany Preston. They work in our office, and I actually said something that probably people don't know. I said, I actually am not making money from any of this. I'm just trying to help people. and those people are doing a lot by giving back as well, just like all of you. It's expensive to start companies like this and to help fund it, and then to give your products to it, but it's worth it because we have to help people, right? And I'm very thankful. I've got to tell you, the support means a lot. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been on the phone with Dory, and how many times Clayton's helped me. And without people supporting, I want to say this in a humble way and in a way so that women understand and men understand, without that support, I would have given up. I would have pulled the cover over my head. And because it's hard when you're attacked for trying to do something good, and you're criticized or made fun of, right, for doing something good. And it doesn't matter how much education you have, or if you went to school or didn't go to school. And I went to school for a long time and still get criticized. But if I didn't go to school that whole time and didn't do all those things, I would still be a very good person trying to do the right thing. And that's what people really attack. It's not the education. It's not it's the fact that you're trying to do something good. And I know together, if we stand strong and support each other, that we will do it together. But we have to be here. And this call meant the world to me. In fact, Clayton had someone go back to the other office and grab me, and I was like, I don't have time to get on a call. and I wouldn't have missed this for the world, Paris. So I want you to know that. And I can't wait to meet you in person someday. It will be my honor. We'll go eat lunch and have coffee, and we might invite Dory. It might invite Sandy.
I think that has to happen. I think we'll probably hug and cry at the same time as well. And, you know, just thank you so much. And I just want you to say, I'm going to play a part in making you a millionaire.
Oh, wow. Well, as long as we're in a commune where we're all helping each other together, we'll be fine. I have a little bit of the hippie spirit in me. So I'm so thankful. Thank you for allowing me to be on the call. Paris, thank you for the privilege of getting to meet you. And I can't wait to hug you in person.
Me too. Thank you.
Hey, Claire, don't edit that.
They don't edit me because I don't say inappropriate. Dory and Claire are not worried about me.
Everything's good today. It's
Dory, do you edit me?
no.
No, why do we edit Clay? Anyway, I'll let you guys get back to your meeting, but thank you and love to all of you guys.
How you like
you,
that?
Christina.
Thank you, Dory.
Honestly, do we need more than that? That was pretty good.
Wow.
Paris, thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you, everyone. Lori, Paris, Yvonne, this call was epic. I mean,
so you gotta break those up into individual segments, because there's been a few questions. When can we get this? When is it gonna be ready? When can we post it? This is what we're about.